Bourbon and Boxing.
Hold up, hold up. Yeah. Hold up, hey. Woman.
What is going on, boxing fans? Welcome back to another episode of Bourbon and Boxing. And once again, it's your boy, Chef Jeff, baby, and our
Big Spade.
look at that, Mars. My boy been working out all morning. He just wanted to show y'all how buff he was. You know what I'm saying? Got me in here doing push-ups before the show and shit.
I gotta get it back. I'm gonna get it all the way back.
Yeah, I feel you. I gotta get it. I just gotta get it, plain and simple. That's
Yeah.
it. But hey, man, this is a big week for boxing, man. We don't want to welcome y'all to the show. Of course, we're a little late, but better late than never. We got a live show we're going to kick with you guys later on tonight. But of course, we want to go over the big fight weekend, baby. Get our thoughts on that, man. Break these fights down. When I tell you there are a boatload of big fights going on, man, I'll show you at the bottom here. You're going to get the schedule down there. You get the time and everything. Of course, Tank Davis versus Frank Martin is our main card tonight. And you got some other, a lot of big fights today between Frank Martin and, Tank Davis. You're going to get Benavidez on the same card. And you're also going to get Subriel Matias versus Liam Paro also tonight. So if you're able to jump back and forth, I know I'm going to have two TVs going thanks to my new Fire Stick. You know what I'm saying? I have both of them motherfuckers on. So I'm gonna have both of those playing, because I think one's 7:30 start time, one's 8 o'clock. But I like of course I like the undercard for the Tank Davis fight, Tank and Frank fight a lot better than I do the Subriel Matias fight. That undercard's okay, but no belts on the line like here for this one. Man, you got 4 belts. All four fights have belts on the line. So, man, that's a hell of a card by PBC put on with PBC and Amazon, man. What's your thoughts on it? Who you taking tonight? What's your most interesting fight? What's a fight you want to see the most? And, of course, we know Frank and Tank. We know that one. But outside Frank and Tank.
Russell, I'm telling you about.
Oh, yeah. Russell? Yeah.
It's been a long time. I want to see what he going to do, man. I want to see if he ready for that Matias fight or Devin Haney fight. I want to see. I know he ready though. That boy a dog. I want to see, man. Hope he win.
Yeah.
Come out victorious. I also want to see my boy Dave. It's crazy. I want to see my boy David Benavidez too. I want to see how he look at 175. If he's strong, you know what I'm saying. If he could conquer the division.
Yeah, because that fight's definitely interesting to me as far as his level of stepping up to 175. Because if he's not going to get that fight against Canelo, it's smart to. It's finally we see a guy not stay stagnant. He's not going to let another guy control his career. He's jumping up, and if he can win this fight at 175, then he's got bigger opportunities. I think at 175 than Canelo at 168. Yeah, Canelo would be the more money fight.
Yeah,
and he could unify that division, but actually he can't even unify it now because Canelo just vacated the IBF or some shit like that because it was a mandatory that he decided he didn't want to take. But for Benavidez, if he wins this, you get the winner of Bivol versus Better Beef, and that's a huge fucking fight for him.
Mm-hmm.
Then he can unify the lightweight division, say fuck the middleweight division, super middleweight, and now you maybe look to move up to cruiserweight. And then future possibly, do you think he could get up to a heavyweight though?
He probably can, but it probably won't be. It won't probably be good. A good cause. Like, nah, I wouldn't go heavy. I wouldn't even go cruiser. And then now on top of that, like he want that Canelo fight bad, man. Like, so I don't see him like just jumping a cruiser. He trying to push for that Canelo fight. So I think him and Terrence Crawford on the same mission. They both want that fight bad. But who gonna get it?
Saudi seems to be one that Saudi wants to make that Crawford Canelo fight more than they want to make the Benavidez Crawford fight or Canelo fight.
They probably ain't hit the David though. They probably ain't hit. I feel like they go off of what they hear. Like, and who, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, with his past, if anybody's brought up his past, they might have a different look at him or look at him different. Saudi, Arabia stuff, how they might look at people like with his past with the cocaine issue and causing himself the belts, early in his career with some bad decisions. But I mean, he's young. Everybody fucks up. We can't hold a guy to the fire just because he messed up when he was young. I mean, making decisions that, hey, we've all made stupid choices when we were young. But he's definitely rebounded from that, and he's beat anybody and everybody they put in front of him in that super middleweight. He fought Andrade, Boo Boo Andrade, when nobody wanted to fight Boo Boo Andrade. You know what I'm saying? And he made him look. He beat him easily. I mean, he fought Caleb Plant. You know what I mean? And Caleb was a hell of a fight. He's fighting anybody that they put in front of him. So it's nice to see him go up. So I'd like to see this fight. I don't know much about his opponent. I know he did fight Better Beeve, gave him kind of a fight from what I've heard that was a pretty good fight. So it shows you that the guy does have talent, but I've also heard that David has sparred him quite a bit. So they might know each other a little bit more than what we realize. Do you think that David said he's always gotten the better of him in sparring? Now we know sparring and in the ring are two different things, but do you think that will favor David coming into this fight?
I mean, dude been off too, so
Yeah,
let's
yeah, he
see.
has been like what,
So
2 years now? 2 years?
shit, David been active. So that's all I can say. The active fighter, I'm going with David, but to make it not sound biased, he been active. So I'm gonna go with the active, hungry fighter. You know what I'm saying? Even though
What
dude,
about
he from where Loma Uskit from. So
yeah, Ukraine?
had some things
Okay.
going on over there that probably had him delayed with.
Yeah, yeah, he might have been actually, because some of them joined up in the military. Loma did for a little bit. I think Usyk served a little bit over there also. But yeah, I mean, for me, I think David could get a pretty quick stoppage. Number one, he knows the guy. He sparred with him, and supposedly he's gotten the better of him in sparring. I think that definitely gives him
What round? What
enough.
round?
What's that?
What round stoppage?
Uh, I think it goes earlier than what people think. I'd say around 6 or 7. I think he stops him. I think he
Six
gets,
sound like six. Sound like ooh, that might be it. 7, good,
yeah,
good.
yeah, 7 maybe
If
more
he
comfortable.
go
Like
after
he's
7, he gonna
finding
start to
stuff
be.
around that fourth and fifth round.
Yeah,
Come around in the sixth. So like I said, if he finds himself early 4 or 5 rounds in, he may end it by 6 or 7. But I mean, maybe this guy surprises us, like David said. Don't take him for granted. He's not looking past him. I mean, it's definitely a step up. And is his power going to come with it? I mean, you know, he's not always been the most in shape guy. So, I mean, but we see he can go 12 rounds. He can move in that ring. So putting on weight, did he put on the weight in a healthy way, or did he put on the weight
shit,
and
that might
not
help him. They said because they said he was struggling with 168. So shit, that
yeah,
175 might help him. He might
be
be
more
more
comfortable?
powerful. He might be more powerful at that weight anyway.
Yeah. We also got Carlos Adamas on there, man. I haven't seen him, I feel like, almost 2 years now. He's part of that 160 division where Charlo was at. It's just probably the most stagnated division in boxing.
You
So I
say
don't
who?
really. Carlos Adamas. He's in that 160 with Janabek and the boy guy we just watched a few weeks or last week or the week before, the Shiraz guy who was going up. Big guy fought. God, what was the guy he beat? Knocked him out, but he was a bigger guy. Fights at 160, but he's in that same division. It's one of the divisions, man. It's where Charlo held the belts and then wasn't active for almost 3 years. Like nobody's fighting each other. Like Janabek and Carlos Adames should have fought each other forever ago. I don't know
Who's
really.
Carlos Adonis? He fighting
You'll have to watch him, man. You don't know the reason you probably don't know much about him because he's a once a year fighter
he
and he
fighting
fights.
tonight?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, he fighting
yeah,
Terrell Boucher.
yeah. He'll be
I
fighting him.
seen him before. I seen him before.
Yeah, he's got power. He's
Power,
got.
yeah,
He
yeah, yeah,
looks
yeah.
good, bro. Like anytime I've seen him fight 2 times, and I
Yeah.
like what I see from him.
He was calling out one of the Charlo brothers or something. I seen him before.
He's been calling the Charlo guy out and Jana back out for quite a bit for quite a while. Janibek's with Top Rank, and Top Rank, and of course, I think PBC never really. They don't really like to work together, man. I've noticed that. I think that's what really caused the Shakur and Frank Martin fight not to happen. You know what I mean? Because Top Rank and PBC
That's
and
what
the
I was
end,
trying
they're
to tell.
not going to work
Yeah,
together, bro.
and this is what I was trying to tell my little brother because everybody, oh, Tank don't fight nobody. I said, look, it's just like Tank and Earl, bro. I mean, Terrence and Earl. You had Terrence had to come out that contract to fight Earl. I said that. I said he said he said he ain't fight Loma. I said, bruh, he was never gonna fight Loma as Loma is under top rank. I said he's not gonna fight Shakur. He's not gonna fight Tiafimo. I said, you see what Devin had to do? Devin had to leave
You jump ship to ship to just
he
get
had
the
to
fight.
leave his own to come over there just to sign with top rank for a little
Yeah,
minute to fight Loma. I
yeah,
said Tank wasn't never gonna fight none of them as long as they under top rank. And I'm like, them boys know that. And I said, not only that, them boys moved up to 140. I said they know Tank ain't fighting. And he probably do it a little bit later or he probably don't. But I said he ain't they know what they was doing. Why they move up to 140? They could have stayed at
yeah.
135. I said
Because
if
Top Rank's not. Yeah,
Fimo hurried up and went up to 130 when he should have fought Devin Haney at
yeah,
135. Now they ain't even talking about fighting each other. Like you see
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
He calling out Terrence Crawford. Come on, bro. You know Terrence
yeah,
Crawford at 154. What you gonna go? Matter of
yeah,
fact, don't even call him. Call out Boots Ennis. He at
yeah.
147. I was trying to
Meet
tell my little
somewhere.
brother that. I said, little bro, you can't listen to everybody. You can't listen to everybody, bro. I'm like, this me, bro. Like, you ain't gonna
Yeah,
get that. Oh, Tank don't fight no. He said he ain't never been an interim champion. I said, fuck that. That shit don't hold no weight, bro. I
no,
said that shit don't hold no weight, bro. I said that.
no.
I say what you ain't gonna go to the Hall of Fame for being that, bro. I
Yeah,
said,
nobody's ever been an
yeah.
interim champion Hall of
I said
Famer.
the intern, he ain't never fought the intern, the number one or two guy. I say, bro, he'd fight people on his side that's undefeated,
Yeah.
that got no losses, bro. The best of fights for him, bro. I
Mhm.
said he can't fight them other guys, bro. They all with top rank. Who he gonna hurt? He can't.
Yeah,
They
and
never
Top
gonna work.
Rank, and I don't really know.
Bar Earl is never gonna work together, bro.
Yeah,
That's why Terrence
and
Crawford.
it's we've seen it for years. Those stables, they don't. It doesn't happen. That's why when I saw Shakur versus Frank, I'm like, bruh. And
That was crazy. That
the
was
first thing I
crazy, wasn't
thought
it? When I
was,
seen that, I'm like, how
yeah,
the fuck?
I'm
I
like, Top
swear.
Rank ain't gonna let this happen. Like this fight ain't going through. And then it didn't go through. And I'm telling you, they're like, well, Frank backed out. Nah, I guarantee PBC out whoever
Nah,
out
Frank said
out
they was trying to
went
lowball
there.
him.
Nah, we ain't fucking with that. Like
He said they
we
was
ain't
trying to.
taking that.
Yeah, they said they was trying to lowball him for real.
That's what I heard too. And of course,
And
Top Rank's
Shakur
gonna
said he
do
was
that
gonna
to
make
sabotage.
more
Right.
money in his than he ever made in all his four last fights. So but
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
gonna go with the better opportunity on your side of the field with
Yeah.
on your side of the field that's easy to get done with a bigger payday. So what you
Yeah.
gonna go with? Trying to knock the man off. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go with this. I mean, you the man over there, but bro, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go with this as a bigger opportunity over here than what you trying to give me. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep. Yeah, I mean, that's why like I said, I wasn't surprised when that fight fell through. Uh Looks like that's gonna be in Las Vegas tonight, guys. 8 p.m. start time. Uh Over and yep, it's gonna be a pay-per-view. That's a 74.99 pay-per-view, guys. Amazon does have some prelim fights on there, actually, that one that I'm actually really interested in. This Elijah Garcia kid, man. I like him a lot. He's a pretty good little fighter. He's going up against Karan Davis. Karan's a pretty good fighter. I mean, this would be a test for Elijah Garcia. Two young guys. That's going to be free. That's going to start probably around 6 o'clock. That's free fights that Amazon's going to give you before the main card starts. So,
it's
before the
not,
$74 pay per view.
not to cut you off, but is this the same shit Canelo was fighting on, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Now, supposedly, Amazon does have a scheduled free fight coming up to where they are going to give everybody a free PBC fight. that's not pay-per-view with some good fighters on it. I was reading on that earlier, but my thing, it really isn't about the free fights or not free fights for me. It's about the fact that Amazon doesn't seem to be a great platform for PBC overall. Uh, I mean, they don't advertise it. I mean, I have Amazon Prime, and I can go to my Amazon Prime right now and scroll through my main top area, and you wouldn't see this fight advertised. It might be advertised today because it's the day of the fight, but that's what they've been doing, like waiting till the day of the fight to advertise it. And it's just like, I don't know. I feel like this is a more of a one sided, like more or less, we gave PBC the platform, but we're not really going to help them with it. We just gave them a platform to advertise from. It's their job to do the rest of it. So I don't know, not real big on this partnership, and I honestly really don't see it lasting long, to be honest with you. Uh, let's go over fight schedule. Which one is this one? We got a couple of them up here, man. Yeah, we got the Subriel Matias fight going on tonight, man. We'll get our guy, Subriel Matias. I don't know if you've ever watched him, but if you have not watched him, he's a pretty killer of a fighter. But Liam Paro is also a really good fighter. So you got two guys undefeated here, 24-0 Liam Paro going up against not on Matias isn't undefeated, 20-1. I think he's got a DQ, a disqualification or something like that on his record. But I mean, this fight right here, I like Liam Paro a lot. I think for the very first fight for Subaru with the zone, this is the fight he was probably looking for. He's been waiting for somebody to step up, take that role. I mean, when we say he's a dangerous guy, this is a guy who previously killed a guy a couple years ago in the ring. That's what he's known for. But his power, the last fight I watched him in, man, I'm going to be real with you. At 140, he's extremely scary for anybody. And what I liked about him is he's really calculated. He's not just a heavy puncher. He sets back the first 2 or 3 rounds and he just lets you do whatever you want. He plays his defense, throws a few punches with you, lets you do what you want. But then when he figures you out, bro, this dude just fucking unloads combinations after combination and then heavy punches and he ends up with big time heavy punches. He is a very calculated fighter, good footwork, good hand speed. And when I say when he puts these combinations together, man, it's just like bottom, top, body, head, and he's everywhere with it. And he takes, 2 or 3 rounds to get going. But man, when he gets going, he is dangerous. It's almost like he gives you, like he tries to let you build your confidence. Like, oh man, look at you. You're doing pretty good against me. Throw you a jab. I mean, and then the fourth round, he takes everything he gave you away from you and then lets you know what level you're actually on. And then it usually doesn't go more than 2 rounds after that, 6 round on the average. Very dangerous fighter, man. I don't know if you've watched him any. I know you've heard about him.
I heard about him. I think I did during COVID. I seen him. I think he had colorful hair. I can't lightweight remember for real though. I don't remember. But I'm gonna try to watch him tonight though.
Yeah. He's definitely, man, something to check out. I don't know when. Like I said, I know that's going to start around 7 o'clock on the Zone. That is not a pay per view, but if you're a subscriber to the Zone, it's $24.99 for to subscribe to them. But then they charge, like, I'm not a big fan of the Zone platform just because they ran their whole platform based off of we're going to give you all the fights. You pay a monthly subscription. They started out at $20 a month. And then they were like, then it was like, we're going to give you all these. And then they signed a big contract with Canelo. And then all of a sudden it was pay-per-view. All the big fights went to pay-per-view. So now you were paying $20 a month and, $60 for the big fights. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, hold on, man. That's going against what you guys said you were running for. Then they bumped it up to $24.99. Then the last time I was on there, it was $29.99. I'm like, nah, fuck that, bro. I'm not paying you $30 a month and paying you for pay-per-view, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like, that $30 a month from your subscribers should definitely pay for fucking paper. Like, you ran your platform saying we're not the pay-per-view network, basically going against PBC. That's what their competition was. Like, well, look, PBC, they're all pay-per-view. We don't do that. Just pay us a monthly subscription We got you with all the good fights. Nah, that was some fucking bullshit. That was some fishing, get you in, and then boom, throw some bullshit on you. So I don't fuck with the zone anymore, to be honest with you. Outside of watching a fight here and there, I don't. I will not pay for their shit. They get plenty of money from other motherfuckers. Fuck the zone.
Yeah.
Like nothing, But that's just how gritty they are. Because if you look, I got buddies over in the UK, and their subscription over there is $9.99 a month.
Mm.
I'm like, damn. So we in the States are paying $30. In the UK, they paying $10. I'm like, that's some motherfucker. Okay, so you think you're gonna just get? We're gonna play. We're just gonna pay for everything over here, huh?
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know if they realize it's a motherfucking recession in the US. You fucking around. You're gonna
Right.
lose all your people over here.
Big
But
recession.
yeah, that should be a pretty good one, man. And on the undercard, you got Angel Ferreira versus Alfredo Santiago. No belts on the line for that one. I've heard of the Ferrero kid. He seems to be pretty good. And then you also like Yankee Rivera. I do like him a lot. He's going to be going up against Victor Efron Sandoval in a flyweight division. Rivera 5-0, kind of newer, but I do like what I see from him. He's a Puerto Rican fighter, so makes sense that he's on that card tonight because that's going to be over in Puerto Rico. That was one of Matias's thing about signing with anybody that he signed with the zone, top rank, whoever he was going to sign with. He made it clear that he wanted his very first fight with them to be in Puerto Rico. So pretty cool to see that, because like I said, my wife's Puerto Rican, her dad, all of them, big Puerto Rican family. So, I like to support Puerto Rican fighters and shit like that. Xander Zayas last week, we watched Puerto Rican fighter Amanda Serrano, Puerto Rican fighter Edgar Berlanga. What do they call him? Not
Matias,
Puerto Rican.
American fighter too.
Who is
Matias.
Matias? Yeah, Matias is a Puerto Rican fighter. You know what I'm saying? So I like to support the Puerto Rican fighters, because of my wife and stuff like that, and my kids, being a little bit of Puerto Rican in them and shit. So, let them, get some hype on. But yeah, that's going to be a pretty good one tonight. What's your thoughts? Who do you like? Subaru, you think Liam Paro, I don't know if you've ever watched him. I think if I'm
Um,
correct, he's in
I,
Australia.
them two people, I gotta tune in because
So yeah, tune in because I
I
think
couldn't.
it's going to be a better fight than what people think it is.
Mm,
Subaru is so dangerous that people just assume that no matter who you put against him, until you see him, take an L, you're going to always assume that, hey man, he's pretty dangerous. But Liam Paro is definitely not a pushover, man. He is a good fighter. It just really all depends.
man.
Who is it?
I think Gary Anton Russell dangerous.
Yeah. 17 and no 17 KOs. Yeah, that boy is definitely dangerous. Yeah. I
I
think
need
he's gonna
that
be
fight. He be he on you. Just how they
yeah.
say the kids be on. He
What's
on you.
he at? Yeah, what's he at right now? Gary Antoine Russell. Is
What you
he
mean?
140?
Yeah,
What's his weight?
140.
If you get those two together, because the zone and PBC will fuck with each other.
Yeah,
I mean, we've seen that in the past. They will put fights together on. You know what I'm saying? They work with each other. Now that's a good future fight if both of these guys win tonight, which I feel like they both are going to win. Even though, like I said, Liam Paro is going to come out and give a good fight. He is a good, tough fighter. I want to say he's out of Australia, so he's a good, tough fighter, man. But this is a big step up for him, and the fight that Subaru's really been looking for, and we'll be able to kind of test his level. We'll be able to see if he's that level or if he's that level. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. All right, man. We're going through our fight schedule this week. I talked about those free fights already for you guys. That's going to be on the prelims. Recap what we saw last week, man. What'd you think about Xander Zayas? Was that the first time you got to watch him, right?
mm-mm.
No, I know you're hip to him with who he was training with and
My first time
everything.
watching him.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
no.
What do you think about him, man? I thought he was up against a tough opponent, somebody that was going to test him a little bit. He took some criticism because he didn't knock the guy out, and they won by decision. But man, I think the dude
He's still
is
young. He still got more. He got to work. They trying to move. It seems like they trying to move him too fast, though. I ain't
yeah.
gonna lie about that. They
I
trying to
will say that I
speed up
don't
the process on him.
Yeah, I don't know if he's ready for the best at 154. The 154 is
Yeah,
a
he
pretty stacked
calling
division.
out. He
So I
calling
would, you know who I would put him against though right now to
out.
really test him be Brian Mendoza. He's a good fighter, but he's not the top at 154. He's on that outside looking in. He's a good fight for anybody at this point. He's a guy that knocked Sebastian Fedor out with the uppercut, inside uppercut. Got a nice little punch on him, but we saw Tim Tszyu fucking rip him apart. The
That's
Tim
what I'm
fucking,
saying, but
but that right there, like
because he
if
got to
you're
work
gonna,
on his defense too.
yeah. So if you're gonna test Zayas without going to like a Virgil Ortiz or Fedora or attempt to Zoo and stuff like that, listen, come on, bro. Get that in there. But yeah, if you're gonna, my bad, guys, my bad. Son decided to come in here on his tablet, sat on his chair, just like loud as hell. But for me, if you're gonna test Zayas without putting him in too deep of waters, Mendoza is a perfect test for him, I think, at this point. That I mean, I can't really see who else like without being, like another Texera, and nothing against Texera. He's a good fighter. He's tough, but Mendoza's like that little bit of upper step from him. That would be that okay. We're gonna go from that ladder to that ladder without throwing him out there. But I don't know. Top rank usually is very calculated on how they move their guys up. Pretty calculated on how they, I mean, like they don't really throw their guys in the deep water like that. But it does. This was the fastest I've seen one of their guys get a main event. You know what I'm saying? Like Zayas, I didn't think he was a main event guy just yet. I expected I'd see him on a couple co-main events, undercards before we saw him in a main event. Uh,
Yeah.
but I think it had a lot to do with Puerto Rican parade day up in New York also. Puerto Rican whatever day up there that they had. They have a big parade and all that. So I think it had a lot to do with that's why he was a main card also. But on the undercard of that, we saw Shushu Carrington looked
Yeah.
really, really good. I love what I see from him. I still think same with Xander Zayas. He needs a little bit more work before he's title ready against a guy like Inouye. You know what I mean? He's calling him out already, and
I
that's
ain't see. I ain't see that. I seen he was bored. I seen like he could have turned it on any minute, any given
he
minute, but
was.
he was
Yeah,
relaxed for real. Like that's what
yeah.
I
His
got from him.
his counter game was just unbelievable. It was beautiful. I mean, he countered him all fucking night. I mean, just played with him all night, like playing with his food.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's what I seen him playing with his
Yeah,
food.
because I thought he could have. I was really surprised he didn't get him out of there after knocking him down early in the fight like he did. And I thought, okay, this fight's about to end early. But it did seem like I don't know. Maybe he wanted to get some rounds in. You know what I mean? Maybe he wanted to get that. Okay, let's see where my stamina's at. When I get in the deeper rounds, because I'm gonna eventually go more rounds with somebody. You know what I'm saying? So maybe he's just trying to get his rounds up, get some experience in there, play around with some things. That can get dangerous sometimes, I mean, if you play around with your food. But I don't know. I loved what I saw from him. Very calculated. I mean, I love the counters that he was given, all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. Like I said, he's still a year away from being for challenging for like an Inouye, in my opinion.
But you sure? Because anyway, got to come up to fight him.
What, 130?
He
He'll
one
do that.
twenty
He's at
six.
126. He's at 126
Yeah.
right now.
Anyway, at 122, ain't he?
No, he's at 126 now. Or he's moving to 126 because he just
I think he
conquered the whole
moving to
122
126.
division. Because his last fight was against Neri. I thought Neri was 126. I might be wrong. He might be 122.
Oh yeah.
But 126, I don't think is impossible for him. In a way, he's popped up quite a few divisions. He's already talked about moving up to 126 possibly. But that to me, if Inouye moves up to 126, fights a guy like Shushu, whatever the outcome of that is, Tank comes down to 130. Him and Inouye meet at 130. I think Tank sleeps Inouye because we saw Neri knock Inouye down. Boy, and I'm telling you, if Tank gets you like that, you're gonna go nap nap. it's a whole different story
Man,
getting hit
he
by 10.
can't beat no motherfucking
Yeah.
man. He better sit his ass down.
I want him to come out of Japan. Like he was talking so
Yeah, he
much.
got to come out of Japan too. Like
Yeah,
when we see you out of Japan and shit, okay, bro. Like,
yeah. He passed up his mandatory to stay to fight Japan again. He was talking all last week like he was gonna fight, like he was gonna fight out in the US. He was like, because he was at the fights last week, watching Shushu. And I'm like, he's talking about, yeah, I'd like to come to the US, blah, 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 maybe my next fight. And then I just read an article where he passed up a mandatory to stay in Japan and fight. That makes me leery because, I mean, the rules are different, in Asia. You know what I'm saying? So to me, like if you're not coming out of your own country to fight, and I get it, he doesn't have to come out of Japan because he's getting 50,000 fucking people at filling stadiums of 50,000 people. So no, just kind of like Tank doesn't need a belt because he sells pay-per-views regardless if he's got a belt or not, right? He's one of the highest pay-per-view sellers out there. He doesn't have to leave the US. I guess it's kind of that same way. Like we've never seen Tank leave the US.
right.
So that's
No,
almost
he
the same
did.
question.
Thank did. The U.S. to fight Preserve. No, did he fight Piazza in New York? I think he probably did.
He's
He went. He
always
went. He went somewhere to fight though somebody in another
no,
country.
now he's talked to Saudi Arabia, but nothing's
You,
ever come of it.
you sure
Like
Tank ain't never left
yeah,
the? Let me see, man.
I just
I'm gonna
look
look
it up.
that up,
Pretty
man.
positive he's never left it because he's even made comments that he doesn't have to. Like I make my money here. Give me a reason
That's
to
probably
leave.
down. I could have sworn he fought that some dude. Hold on, man, because I remember the press conference. Uh, I can't remember, man. But I don't know. You might be right though, but I
Yeah,
could.
but
Yeah,
that's maybe how Inoue feels. Like, hey, if I'm selling out, and why do I need to leave Japan?
I'm
He
saying, but
come.
this the Mecca though. It's different.
Yeah, I feel like it. I kind of feel like I feel like the U.S. used to be like we were the Mecca. I mean, I think well, everybody wants to fight in Las Vegas. Everybody wants to fight in New York.
I'm
I do agree with
yeah,
that.
it's the Mecca of boxing. You
Yeah,
can't.
but I feel like Saudi Arabia now is trying to take that reign as far as like putting the big money up for the big. Their atmosphere is nowhere near the atmosphere here in the US or the UK. The
Ah,
UK, I think the UK has the best atmosphere, and then the US after that. But as far as the best fighters seem to come out of the US, I agree on that. But the atmosphere wise, UK is incredible. I'd love to watch a fight over there. But Saudi Arabia, if they can get the atmosphere up that over there, it might be a different story. But right now, they're trying to take over that role. Oh yeah. All right, man. Getting some boxing news, man. I read a pretty good little article this week. Saudi Arabia is in talks about interest in starting a boxing league by forming all the platforms together. Can this work? And is this a start to reforming boxing, the sport of boxing? My thing about it is Turkey Alley, like he said, it's just talks. Like he's talked to Top Rank, he's talked to PBC, he's talked to Golden Boy, uh, Matchroom, of course, Queensberry, all of them,
do it,
but
bro.
nobody's really
I'm
agreed
gonna
on it.
cut you
But
off.
what's he? Go ahead,
I
go ahead.
knew it. He fought out the country. He fought
Where
in
at?
Biloxi, Biloxi.
Biloxi. Ain't that Alabama?
Oh yeah, that is my bad. German. Hold on, my res resort. Oh yeah, 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 yep. You right. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Biloxi. Yeah, I thought that was
Yeah, yeah,
Alabama.
yeah. How they got it though? Yeah, how they had it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I ain't see casino next to it. So yeah, I
hell yeah.
could have sworn though. I'm trying to find it,
Yeah,
man.
I don't think he has, man, because he's always said he doesn't
Unless
have to.
dude, unless he fought the dude I'm talking about in New York. That's that's probably what got me thrown off. He probably fought dude in New York. That's probably
Yeah,
and he was from another country. I think he was from like England or something. Because I remember
yeah,
Floyd was at the press conference and he was
yeah.
arguing with his brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's your thoughts on Saudi Arabia wanting to start a boxing league, man? We talked now. You know, I'm a big advocate for reforming boxing. Now, what I've heard of Turkey Ali talking, basically, it's forming this league, getting basically, having. Now, he did say get rid of all the belts, which I'm
Hold
for.
on. Hold on. Because I be knowing on right, bro. When I know something, I know something. I go do the research. He fought at Copper Box Arena, Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park, Hankney Wick. He fought Line Walsh from
In
England.
England, so he did fight in England.
Yeah. I remember that. I knew I wasn't tripping, bro. I'm like, he fought out the country because I remember the press conference. Yeah.
All right, nice. Okay.
The IBF World Super Featherweight. Yep.
Okay. All
Yep.
right.
I knew
All
I
right.
wasn't tripping, bro. I ain't gonna. If I don't know, I wouldn't even do. I'm like, nah, he fought out the country. At least
Yeah,
them home. Yeah.
check. We're gonna talk about Tank. Let's put some Tank in the background. We're gonna knocking motherfuckers out. But look, man, this Saudi Arabia thing, man. I did a little thing about it. I love the ideal that the Turkish Al Sheikh has because I've always said a boxing league would be really freaking cool. Especially, you don't have to get rid of the platform. You can keep top rank. Hey, little dude, calm down. You can keep top
He
rank.
was
You can keep
fighting.
PBC. Yeah, you go there fighting the steps. But you can keep PBC, Golden Boy, the Zone, Matchroom, Queensberry, all these, and just league it up. And all these stables already have the fighters. All you gotta do is produce the league. But my biggest thing about it is like, yeah, it would be a great start to reforming the sport of boxing. But there's so much more that I think they would have to do to clean it up than just present a league. And then also, would these platforms give up that power for the money, and how much money would Saudi Arabia have to guarantee that? Would would they have to put up for something like that? You think? Do you think it'd be like in the billions to buy all these guys? Obviously, to say, hey, we're gonna form you all together. It would be billions of dollars to probably just get these guys to agree
I
to
don't
something
want
like.
to watch them over there though, bro. I ain't.
No. But here's a cool thing about it though. Turkish Ali, he's not about just putting fights there, bro. Like that's why
You
that
gonna put
that
a face
fight,
over here too?
the Crawford fight, he's putting that shit on. That's in LA. That's all done by him.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
yeah. And he's already talked about putting fights in New York. He wants to go out because, like he said, the crowd is in the US and the UK. He wants
Yeah.
fights in these because people
Okay.
were
Yeah.
that,
Yeah. Hell yeah. I'm with that though. I mean, I love to see that, but we know that ain't gonna happen. But it's too many
yeah, because
prizes. Unless
I
he
don't
just
think
start buying motherfuckers like, man, look, I'm about to give you 500. I'm gonna give you 500 for your promotion. I'm gonna give you
that's what I'm saying.
500 for your promotion,
Yeah,
or I'm gonna give you 1 billion for yours. I'm gonna give you 1 billion for yours. Them motherfuckers got money, so
yeah,
but
they got the money.
I love to see it. I love to see that, man. But
Yeah,
I
Top
love.
Rank contract is up with ESPN after the end of this year, if I'm correct. So that would leave them open to be able, to where they could negotiate with a top ranked then. But then, of course, you lose a platform in ESPN. So I think you would still have to try to find a way to keep ESPN because I think that's one of the best. I feel like ESPN not only gives you some of the best stables, but they give you the best fights for free. Like if you got ESPN Plus, I pay like $7.99 a month for that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And I get mass good ass fights for free. Like, and
yeah,
the only ones I can remember that they put on pay per view was like the Tyson Fury Wilder 3 fight, first or second and third fight they put on pay per view, and then they put that Cabosa and Devin Haney fight on pay per view. But outside of that, they've given you massive big fights for free, a lot more than the other platforms have. So I'd kind of like to see that group kind of stay together. But man, I think a league is definitely a start to fixing things. But the fighters, we have to find a way to put the fighters first, and the fighters got to figure out that they shouldn't be the last motherfuckers getting paid. They should be the first people getting paid. Like it shouldn't be everybody else gets some money, and then we're gonna give like right now. You know how you got Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia saying, "Hey, we ain't been paid for ticket sales or pay per view." You know what I mean? And then by Oscar, and this isn't the first time he's been accused of not paying his guys all the money that he's owed them. And that shouldn't happen. Like, you should be getting that money before you even step in that ring. Fuck that. If you're healthy and you need to be, you're that fight night, have that check in the bank and then walk out to that fucking ring, because that's the first person that should be getting paid. You know what I mean? And then let the promotional company and shit figure that pay-per-view and ticket sales out down the road, whatever. But, you know what I mean? You shouldn't have these situations where guys aren't being paid. That's what deters people from, going into boxing and stuff like that. That, and you don't have any health benefits. You don't have anything to back you up. You know what I mean? You go into boxing and you could be undefeated. You lose a fight and now you're a bum to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's fucking boxing. Or and that loss might be a bad decision by a judge, a crooked ass judge paid by some promotional company to favor their fighter, right? And now your career is fucked and you ain't got shit to fall back on. So I think fighters need to smarten up as far as unionizing the sport in favor of the fighters, just like a CBA that the basketball has, and the NFL is what, like a CFL or something like that. Whatever they have, the CBA's agreements that they have, boxing should do the same thing, dude. Protect your fighters up and down. It would make a lot more people interested in becoming boxers if it becomes a more legit sport. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's going to make people like say, okay, yeah, I won't mind being a boxer, because now, CBA, you're protected. If you're good, you're protected. Then you might see a lot more talent coming in also. What's your thoughts?
Nah, not like, bro. I mean, nah, cause like, what he gonna do though, man? He might do some shit, man. He might switch it up on us, bro. He might get that shit. I don't know. I don't think the boxer's gonna be with that shit though. He gotta, you know how many people you gotta talk to
Yeah,
everybody,
yeah.
bro.
And that's what makes it
You
tough
can't
in
even
boxing
talk to the promoter, bro.
worldwide.
You gotta talk
Yeah,
to the boxers, how they feel, bro. That's a lot of shit, bro. And this
yeah.
ain't like the NBA where it's just 32 teams, bro. You got a million motherfuckers boxing in the world,
That's
bro.
why I said you could keep your platforms. Queensberry has their fighters. That's a league. Top Rank, that's a league. PBC, that's a league. Matchroom, that's a league. Sky Sports, that's a league. Golden Boy, league. So you could have all those, because they all have stables. Even Mayweather, Money May, boom, team, PBC, all that. Those could all be
Nah,
leagues.
that'd be live. That'd be live.
And then you could
That'd be a
take
go.
all the best
That'd be
that
a go.
division. Yeah,
That'd be a
and you
go.
can keep all four
That'd be a
belts.
go.
Yeah,
That'd be
because
a
at
go.
first I was
That'd
like,
be
get rid
a
of the
go.
belts. Then I
We already
said,
talked about that though before though. Like
well, as
we
far as getting rid of the belts, but I think now keep those all four belts
nah
so
keep
that
the
it
belt.
it
Keep the
it
belt.
keeps
It make
championship
it
level.
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, it make
yeah,
it
yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
It
So
put
you can have
motherfuckers on
a
different levels.
unified division
Yeah,
and undisputed
yeah,
champion, and
yeah.
real bragging rights would come out of that. Like, fuck, we're top ranked, we the best, we've been a chance for blah 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 this many years and shit like that. To where you would have to, break it down to
Bro,
like
that'd be a
like
whole. That's gonna be a whole lot of work, bro. They're gonna have
be,
to call. They're gonna need to call me and you on that. That's gonna
I'm
be
telling you,
so
bro.
much, bro. Do you know
Telling you.
how much work that's gonna be?
Yeah, well, it's like the first thing, like it's just like
And
you
that'll
said.
be live too, because it'll be like young fighters, like, man, come on, go pro, man. Like, we got this such and such for you.
Yeah,
Like, man,
yeah,
don't
yeah.
you worry. That'll fuck the Olympics up.
What if you had a
Woo! Huh?
what if you had a boxing draft, just like NFL draft, NBA draft,
That's too
bro?
much. That's too much.
Amateurs coming out, the top amateur, top rank, or whatever. Somebody gets
I'm
like
gonna draft though. That's
like a
too.
lottery type thing. I think that would
Nah,
be crazy.
that's
Like, you end up with top rank. Well, I don't know, because then that takes away your freedom to sign with somebody
yeah.
like
That's
boxing. It's like the freedom
no,
to be
no,
able to sign with somebody.
no draft. That's too footballish,
Yeah,
basketballish. You play them sports. You can't play boxing. We
you
ain't
know, you know,
we
you,
ain't,
you
we
play.
ain't gonna take it that far, huh?
I said, the only thing you play in boxing is getting knocked out. Like,
Your ass
you know,
get
like,
more than that. You could get
yeah,
more than that.
concussions. But yeah, I mean, I love the ideal overall. And like he said, this is just an ideal right now. Nothing's on the table. He's just kind of putting it out there because that's his thought process of
Yeah.
starting the league. Now, he hasn't really even put details out there. I kind of was like, hey, man, form up leagues. Take these platforms, make each one a fucking league, and right there's your leagues. You know what I'm saying? And then you would just more bragging rights, and then you would be able to me being able to get the fights like no more Canelo ducking David Benavidez. You can't with a league if you do it
Yeah,
that way. There's no more fucking ducking. It's an
yeah.
obvious 1 versus 2. You're gonna fight this guy. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like you can't. There's no going around it. I think if you start to league, there'd be no going around it. You're scheduled to fight David Benavidez. Oh, you don't want to fight him, then you're suspended. You lose your belts. You know what I mean? You don't fight who you're supposed to fight. No more ducking and you choosing. Okay, I've earned the right to choose who I want to fight. Nah, bro. Like it's boxing. If you're in the sport of boxing, one fights two. You know what I
Right.
mean? He fights 4, 5 fights 6. It should be that simple. Then it moves up. Whoever loses, it rotates. But I don't know. I think it would be cool to do. But like you said, a lot of work would have to go into it.
It's a lot of
Probably,
work. It's like 5 years worth of work.
I'd say a couple years because I think you would have to have one committee only. You could have all 4 belts, WBC, WBA, all that. They could
You
be
gotta
on
have
the
the
committee.
committees, the promotions, boy. It's good.
Yeah.
That's longer than two couple years, bro. I
Well,
ain't
I
gonna.
mean, it'd be almost like any committee. Every committee has a representative from like in the NFL, right? They've got a committee, that oversees everything. They're all owners of teams, GMs of that team. Some team is represented by somebody from their organization, correct? Same thing with this committee. Somebody from every league, from top rank, all that is going to be there to represent their side, also have a say in everything. So it's an equal playing ground. And that way, PBC ain't getting more say than top rank, or, top rank's getting more say than a smaller guy like Pro Box TV, who I forgot could obviously be a league too. You could let some of these younger, like Pop Pro Box, I think good up and coming, Eye of the Tiger, they
Yeah.
have good talent in those stables.
Mm-hmm.
So then you could give those guys a bigger opportunity on the same
Mm-hmm.
playing ground. Like, all
Yeah,
right, man,
yeah,
now we
yeah,
can
yeah.
play with you
That'd
all
be
also.
that'd be
I think that,
yeah. I get
yeah,
you. I got you, but we gotta always remember boxing is different from basketball, football. It's you know what I'm
it's the
saying?
Wild Wild West, baby. The Wild Wild West of sports. That's what I call it. There's no real committee, no real rules. It's every man for themselves, every boxer for themselves. And at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? You got guys who are in the same stable, but at the end of the day, it's every boxer for themselves, because there's no stability. It's not like a family almost. You've got stables that guys are close, like
Hey, quit.
Shakur.
This is what I'm gonna tell you. Not because quit giving away ideas for they steal your shit too, man.
And they do,
You,
don't they probably just sold that whole they're gonna watch it.
you.
I just like I just like letting people know like my mind just goes
Yeah,
sometimes,
nah,
bro.
that's cool, but we ain't gonna get
You know what
paid
I'm
for it
saying?
if they steal our shit.
Like, I know you already know we won't. But hopefully somebody like Turkey IC be like, yeah, we're gonna bring bourbon and boxing in on this shit now. You know what I'm saying? Because if we
Yeah,
see all your ideas match up with
write
us,
us
we
we'll
got
send
this shit
them a personal
recorded.
letter or video or some shit.
Yeah, yeah,
We ain't gonna say that shit over there. Fuck around and take it, find
yeah,
him and steal our shit. Like, look, this is what we could no, no.
yeah, yeah.
You can't keep giving
Yeah.
that
You
out.
you would think that if we can come up with these ideals, that these guys getting fucking paid to do this shit for a living could obviously think of this shit, right? You know what I mean? It
Dude,
shouldn't be that hard.
hustling every day, all day until we get this shit right. For that money that he gonna pay, fly me over that motherfucker and stay in
Mhm.
what? And
Mhm.
man, come on,
Mhm.
what? I quit my
Sit
job.
down.
What? You gonna pay
Yeah,
me what to put this plan together? Come on, we out of
yeah,
here.
yeah.
You
Sit there and fucking have a book like that.
man, out of here. You hear me? Outta
Yeah,
here. But I'll be over that bitch 5 years so we get this shit down pack right.
absolutely. Just chilling, eating grapes and shit. Hey, I'm working hard. I'm working hard, but I'll be home soon.
Man,
Picture of the kids.
uh,
Yeah.
uh,
But hell yeah, man, ain't much more news. I wanted to run that one across you, man. As always, man, I'm gonna let my guy Big Spade take us out
I
here. I'm
don't
gonna
know what it
type
is, man.
it.
Like a couple of knockouts should be early. We looking for early stoppages. So like I'm gonna tell y'all, man. You know what I mean? How y'all gonna watch this fight? Watch us, like, subscribe, follow, comment. You know what I mean? Do what y'all gonna do. Listen to us. You know what I mean? Y'all can steal our shit, but make sure y'all
Yeah,
make
give us
sure
some credit.
y'all
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
give us credit, shout us out if you gonna steal our shit. Don't just be acting
Yeah.
like you all pro box man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody got their own opinions in boxing. That's what people don't get. People be like, uh, you ain't never boxed, but everybody got their opinion in boxing. I might think you a shitty boxer. You might think you a good boxer. That's her opinion. But like I said, like, subscribe, comment, man. We'll see y'all later on the night. This shit. Ooh, I can't wait.
Oh, we
I
almost
can't
got
wait
to
for
check
this shit to
y'all.
fight. I'm about to fight. I can't wait. I want to see this shit. I want to
Man,
see it go down. We got three for sure good fights on this card tonight. Man, I want to see
it's,
probably Goucher too. I want to see. I don't know what he gonna come out like, but let's get it, man. Like, subscribe, comment, follow us, man.
that's right. You heard my boy Big Spade, man. Thanks for joining us for episode 67. Don't forget to join us tonight live. Probably about what you thinking? With 9 o'clock, it starts at 8. But I don't know
Yeah,
who would I know there's 4 on there, and I don't know. Well,
yeah,
I
probably
think
about 9ish. I'll send you a text or
yeah,
something.
yeah,
We'll
yeah.
get it.
9 is, we got kids. I gotta feed mine, get them settled
Man,
down, ready to relax, and
man,
get my bourbon and start my swerving.
let's go. Let's get it.
Good. That's it. All right, guys. Peace out. Chef Joe.
Big spade.
Yeah, yeah.